And you know what? We're not going to be bullied or shamed into silence or compliance because we're scared of being associated with bad people who legitimately are racist. That's what they're trying to do. They're trying to bully you into silence and compliance. And at some point, you just have to stop caring about being called a bigot. You just have to stop caring about being called a racist because it doesn't matter what you do. Salon says this, quote, reporters and researchers, very vague. The experts have also pointed out that the convoy movement is inextricably tied to Canadian far-right groups. Now, what makes it inextricably tied? Like, why can't, your average Canadian who is against vaccine mandates and who wants to be a part of this movement, why can't they untie themselves from these, quote, far-right groups, including radical neo-Nazi linked accelerationist networks, according to Salon? Why are they inextricably tied? Because any left-wing movement is easily given permission to extricate themselves from any extremist parts of their group. So why is it inextricably tied? Again, why can't we have just a little bit of common sense to say, okay, yeah, there are unfortunately going to be bad actors that hijack a particular movement, but that doesn't characterize the vast, vast majority of people who are pushing for freedom in Canada. It's inextricably tied because that is more convenient for leftist media. Because if they can paint everything that they don't like, every opposition to their totalitarian efforts as racist, as white supremacist, then they can scare people from being against them. That's what tyrants have always done. They're no different than the tyrants of the 20th century. And the ironic thing is that they are calling people in this convoy fascists, that somehow this is fascism, to be against the unfettered growth and power of the government. And they are the good guys. No, guys, you're the bad guys. You're the bad guys. If you are on the side of the totalitarians, of taking people's livelihoods away because they won't get a shot, that, again, doesn't stop infection or transmission. But even if it did, I don't think it should be mandated. If you are on that side, you're the bad guys, okay? I don't even think most people that are calling these people fascists could even tell you what fascism is if they tried. I think they just call everyone a fascist, everyone a racist, everyone a white supremacist that they disagree with. Again, you can say, wow, people flying Nazi flags or people flying Confederate flags or people who are legitimately part of extremist groups, they're really bad. They should be utterly and totally condemned. And it's really unfortunate and reprehensible that they're showing up at these demonstrations and marring what these people are trying to do. You can say that and still say, wow, this is a movement that is fighting for good things. It's pushing for good things. And you know what? We're not going to be bullied or shamed into silence or compliance because we're scared of being associated with bad people who legitimately are racist. That's what they're trying to do. They're trying to bully you into silence and compliance. And at some point, you just have to stop caring about being called a bigot. You just have to stop caring about being called a racist because it doesn't matter what you do. Like, you remember, these are the same people that called Winsome Sears a white supremacist. That is the woman who became the lieutenant governor for Virginia, the first Black woman to hold the position in Virginia, who called Larry Elder the black face of white supremacy, who call people like Candace Owens a white supremacist. So if they're calling those people who are Black white supremacists, understand that no matter what you do, if you are on the right and a bunch of people on the right are pushing for a particular goal, you are going to be called a fascist, you are going to be called a racist, you're going to be called a white supremacist and a bigot and a Christian nationalist and all of these things. It doesn't matter. So you might as well just double down. Like, if you know that what you are advocating for is virtuous, and if you are using peaceful and virtuous means to push for the policy positions that you believe in, that you know are good and right and true, then you cannot care what you're being called. You just can't, because they are going to try to shout you down. And as soon as you start complying, as soon as you start apologizing, as soon as you start trying to acquiesce to the demands of the bullies on the left, they're just going to keep going. These people are sharks. They smell blood and they attack when they know that you are feeling intimidated. You cannot be intimidated by these people. They're liars and they're crooks. Again, that's not to excuse any bad behavior, any terrible, legitimately, objectively bad ideology that happens to unfortunately associate themselves with the good people of the Freedom Convoy in Canada. But Again, to characterize everyone as that, it is completely dishonest, and you cannot back down because of that false narrative.
If you enjoyed this video, hit like and subscribe to our channel so you'll be sure to see similar videos from BlazeTV with the added bonus of signaling YouTube that your voice and opinion still matters. And if you're looking for more great conservative content, check out one of the 2 videos suggested here.